in shadows lurking deep, a light begins to burst. All eyes will stumble down, for truth redeems us first. God's light, it shines so bright, no darkness can conceal. His love is pure and true, His grace we deeply feel. With hate will never rise, but love will lead the way. In every heart a flame, God's light will ever stay. Unconditional love pouring from above, in every broken heart His touch.
Okay, hopefully I can be heard. Trying, having some minor technical difficulties. My primary computer went on me. Okay, let's see. Oh, let's try something here. At least. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. I'm trying. Darn thing being screwy. So just bear with me. Trying to get this working. Okay, I see that looks like I've got audio. So I'm using an alternate laptop that doesn't have the juice to do much of nothing. So while we're trying to sort this out, got some new things to listen to here. Let's see. Whoop, I didn't want to do that. Doggone it. That's not what. Hey. Brr. I hate having to try to do things on a cell phone. See if I can get back on the computer side here in a sec. Okay. I'm trying. All right. Let's see. Okay. Now I'm definitely going on myself. Can we? Hopefully we can hear me now. Hopefully things are a little less squirrely. Okay, that was supposed to go. All right. Now, I guess I'll just keep that up in the background just in case. Go a little haywire again. And all right. Got some interesting new songs to show. And yeah. Can you hear the music? Okay. Oh, no, it wasn't playing. Darn it. Try this again. Oh boy.
They knock at midnight, no sound, no fight. Taking the little ones into the night. Whispers of power cloaked in their deeds. Feeding the system on innocent plea. Dirty hands pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls. They don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. their crime. Families shattered in the dead of time. Rules rewritten, hearts torn apart. The lies they tell a master's art. Dirty hands pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls, they don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. Courtrooms echo with twisted games. Judges blind to the fire and flames. The laws they twist, the lives they break. All for control, all for the sake. Dirty hands pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls, they don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. They scribble verdicts on crumpled dreams. Silence the cries that burst at the seams. Who will stand? Who will fight when justice falls into the
Okay, that's one version of that one. There's another version of that specific set of lyrics that I started off trying to play. See if we can get it to. These are the AI created. Got it maxed out on the system, EMS.
They knock at midnight, no sound, no fight. Taking the little ones into the night. Whispers of power, cloaked in their deeds. Feeding the system on innocent pleas. Sturdy hands, pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls, they don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. No cloak of darkness shields their crime. Families shattered in the dead of time. Rules rewritten, hearts torn apart. The lies they tell a master's art. Dirty hands pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. courtrooms echo with twisted games. Judges blind to the fire and flames. The laws they twist, the lives they break. All for control, all for their sake.
That's how it goes.
They scribble verdicts on crumpled dreams. Silence the cries that burst at the seams. Who will stand? Who will fight when justice falls into the night?
So, I got to access out of the other thing here. It's going to echo on me. I think the court wasn't all that great. Although family court today was mostly just about an update on how they were trying to control my daughter. Well, apparently, it's my understanding she got, well, one, I got put to the phone again where I couldn't hear for squat, let alone participate properly. And there's another set of lyrics too that I'll be playing here in a moment. But yeah, musical judges again went back to the associate judge today. Apparently, my daughter got into a fight and ran away for apparently 12 hours and is now back somewhere else because she doesn't want to be in the system. She wants to come home. Okay. And my attorney being, well, yeah, being a political donor to the main judge, not the associate judge, I brought up something where the main judge should recuse herself because of the whole political campaigns, donations, and the appearance of impropriety. But, well, something else that I was kind of working on as well in the background was to basically get rid of my attorney. I mean, a campaign donor that refuses or conveniently doesn't want to speak up and object. Although, here's the okay. Well, this is really fun. Okay, if you have an attorney in a family court case, you tell them that you want to do a phone conference at the last hearing, which was almost, well, it's been a couple of weeks. When I was first put on phone and was going back and forth email and whatnot, I told my attorney I wanted a phone conference because I wanted to discuss the lies by the agency that were used to steal my kid. And of course, she still made excuses. One, she didn't do the phone conference. Two, she didn't even email me about today's court hearing until after midnight last night. Yes, they can give me a new court-appointed attorney. Personally, I wish I had the money. But to really get justice, you have to pay for your own attorney, and then, yeah, whatever. You don't get justice if you don't if you're not rich. But they are finding out that my daughter, who was born in New York, my wife, who was born and raised in New York, yeah, they got a handful. They thought that because, oh, fathers are Christian, we're ministers, we're white, oh, this would be an easy steal or kidnapping of a kid. Yep. They're finding out the hard way that's not the case. Just because we're Christians doesn't mean we're not. I mean, they forget the one simple fact. Well, they forget the fact that my wife is from New York. My daughter was born in New York. Oh, conveniently. Well, that's because they keep trying to search the Texas database for me as her father. No, and her birth certificate. No, she wasn't born in Texas. Yeah, she was born in New York. And I'm on the New York birth certificate. Hello. But yeah, I mean, and it's obvious when our RV has out of state plates. They thought this was going to be easy for them. Well, easy, but not easy, which is why, my daughter's attorney is brought in on difficult cases. Yeah, difficult because it's difficult to violate rights without somebody bending over backwards to allow the yeah, no benefit of a reach around. Just put it mildly. But I did it. Sorry for those that might have caught briefly the impeachment evidence video. It wasn't meant to go public. It was meant to stay members only. I got that corrected. So for those that are unable to get memberships, I'm sorry. At some point I might release that, but I gotta have something to make membership worthwhile. something. But anyways, yeah. So my attorney is no longer going to be my attorney. I think my wife might have lost her attorney as well because of the BS games they've been playing. And yeah, it was in front of the associate judge. And our daughter definitely wants to come. Oh, and let me also point out the fact that we've only had one visit with our daughter, and that was basically the Monday after she was taken. We haven't had any visitation with her since then. Talk about parental alienation. So that's the reason for kind of throwing these songs up. You've heard the two versions of the one set of lyrics. I'll take a moment and play two versions of this other set of lyrics.
Underneath the moon's cold glow, dirty hands move where shadows grow. They call it duty, but it's a game. Breaking hearts, leaving families maimed. Cloak of darkness, a silent theft. A home once whole, now bereft. Truth buried deep, hidden from view. The gavel strikes, justice untrue. Who's watching the watchers when they turn blind? Who's guarding the laws that twist and bind? The scales are tilted, the balance betrayed. In the court of whispers, the innocent paid. A paper shield, a judge's guise. Behind the bench, deception lies. Eyes that see but choose to stray, turning the law into a masquerade. They rewrite the rules with a knowing grin. Where justice ends, corruption begins. Families broken, torn apart. No mercy shown, no beating heart. Who's watching the watchers when they turn blind? Who's guarding the laws that twist
Hey,
and
Patricia, glad to see you here. Welcome.
the scales are tilted, the balance betrayed. In the court of whispers, the innocent paid. Who's watching the watchers when they turn blind? Who's guarding the laws that twist and bind? The scales are tilted, the balance betrayed. In the court of whispers, the innocent paid.
Okay. Welcome to those that have shown up a little late. I'm glad you're here. You might have caught the tail end of that song. Well, here's the same lyrics, different. Well, basically a lot of the same old of musical judges. And my daughter ran away for 12 hours after getting into a fight. And we're talking fisticuffs. But yet she is so much better in their care. Again, ULEX, EMS, Patricia Miliadis, I'm glad to see you here. Yeah. It's been a little fun game of whack-a-mole, and I think these lyrics help kind of give an idea to how bad it is here in Travis County, Texas, aka Austin, the state capital.
where shadows grow. They call it duty, but it's a game. Breaking hearts, leaving families maimed. Cloak of darkness, a silent theft. A home once whole, now bereft. Truth buried deep, hidden from view. The gavel strikes, justice untrue. Who's watching the watcher when they turn blind? Who's guarding the laws that twist and bind? The scales are tilted, the balance betrayed. In the court of whispers, the innocent paid. The paper
Got into a fight at foster care.
judges guys behind the
Now they've got her back in the
bench.
group home way up in Wacko Lake.
Eyes that see but choose to stray, turning the law into a masquerade. They rewrite the rules with a knowing grin. Where justice ends, corruption begins. Families broken, torn apart. No mercy shown, no beating heart. CPA's creeps with quiet tread, stealing dreams from a child's bed. They'll claim it's right, they'll claim it's fair, but in their hands, love stripped bare.
I like that version too. of that one, Shadows of Justice, and the other one, which people started to come in on. I'll replay them in a minute, but yeah. So that's basically what's gone down. But yeah, needless to say, my daughter got into a fight. She was being bullied, which, she's been warned that, people were going to bully her for her weight. That's not, but she's been taught, that not to take, basically she's been taught FAFO. F around, find out. She will make sure people find out. Especially when her parents aren't there to tell her to stand down. So she's up to her own judgment now. So that's how well they protected my daughter. And she's not enrolled in school because it's too close to the end of the school year. So she's missing out on her homeschooling, her curriculum we were doing. So that's kind of gone the opposite direction they wanted, but yet Texas has zero law. The only law says that parents can homeschool and or unschool. There is no Texas law that states what the curriculum has to be, how much it has to be. It has to be certified this, that, or another. Nothing like that. Parents are allowed to teach their kids how they see fit. If they want to teach them just the basics, reading, writing, and arithmetic, just enough like for the Amish, well, they have every right to do so. If they want to teach them to be complete hippies without learning to read or write, in Texas you can do so. There's no law against it. But so yeah. And corporal punishment is allowed in Texas. So as long as you don't leave any bruises, you're allowed to punish your child. So everything they've done has violated Texas laws and what they've used to remove our daughter from us. And now they're finding out that, yeah, they didn't get as easy of a cakewalk as they thought it would be to steal our child. And then, of course, we're fighting them tooth and nail because, I'm sorry, we don't believe in involuntary servitude by spending 2 to 3 years kowtowing and jumping through hoops they want us to jump through. Oh, we want you to do this. We want the parents to do that. We want them to go to this counselor, that doctor, this, that. What? That's nothing but a money game because they're getting kickbacks from the government, from the doctors and physicians and things like that to them because of the government money they're filtering their way. And that's what the case is, but good luck proving it because they're so doggone corrupt. And for the late bloomers, oh, these songs, okay, don't get me wrong. These songs, yes, they have a very gloomy, sad tune to them. That is not exactly my feelings. That is the what I want to show that because of the system and how corrupt and dark it is, I wanted the songs to be just as dark. Well, my lawyer has removed herself because apparently somewhere she thought I said she was brainwashed and has never read the law. I never said that about her. I never even said her name. I did mention she was female, and I did mention it's a matter of public record about her donations, and it's not that hard if you do the public record on the donations of the one judge. If you do just a little bit of your own homework, which is real easy, if you have a clue about the case, and what judges there are. But I can say the judge's name, but I haven't. But a little bit of homework, you can figure it out. It's not that hard of who they are, what their names are, and some of the interesting links. But then again, I was going to have my attorney removed anyways for basically not incompetent. That's not the word's not incompetent. Ineffective counsel. Ineffective counsel. Because when I'm sitting there telling my attorney one thing, and therefore my attorney should be objecting to things, her personal opinion should not be part of it. Up to and including that my constitutional rights are red herrings. Now, I know in France, your rights and constitution and things are different than the U.S., and I will not even fathom of clue that I have any knowledge of, France other than some French history. Okay, and it's only the famous French history that almost, most 10-year-olds know. Joan of Arc and Let Them Eat Cake and things like that. Okay, so the infamous Three Musketeers. Oh, not the candy bar. And the Eiffel Tower and Statue of Liberty link. Yeah, those little different pieces of history I understand. That's, and the French resistance during the Great World Wars. But yeah, those are some things I know. But as far as the French Constitution, the current German constitutions, different things like and rights and things like that, I wouldn't fathom a clue. But yeah, basically, when my own attorney has zero contact with me since the last court date, and I asked for a phone conference, and the contact I get was at almost midnight on the day of court, 9.5 hours before court, after midnight when most of the world sleeps. Yeah, I don't think that's really effective counsel. And then the most she could say is that my client feels his constitutional rights are being violated. That's all she can say. Doesn't know the word objection. And she only basically really started saying anything on my behalf positive in the courtroom just before they took my daughter. So, I mean, literally, she was doing the bare minimum to appear effective, not to actually be effective. And of course, that was only in the associate judge's courtroom, never in the judge that she contributed to, that she contributed to the political campaign of's courtroom. That seems a little fishy. Well, today was just an update on my daughter's status. Just a brief hearing of an update. Seriously? My wife had to fight with buses to go downtown just for that. And then they still wouldn't even allow me via Zoom to where I could actually truly hear what the updates were. I was stuck on a phone call where I can basically the only person I could hear clearly, and that was barely, was the associate judge. Because this time it was the court that called me. But one of the things I wanted my attorney, that so-called attorney I had, to do was to ask the main judge that she contributed to recuse herself for the appearance of impropriety. Plus, I also gave, as well, a lot of the things I mentioned in my last live stream, the appealable offenses, I brought all those up to my attorney. You're talking about the body cams of the cops and stuff. I need help getting that because I can't even get downtown to the police department to do that. Because this is a large city and my mobility scooter only has so much range with my big butt on it. And it's very difficult to try to fit it onto a city bus. And yeah, I could try to do an online request, but for the body cams of all the cops that night. But I'll be honest, they're going to want to charge me, and they're going to want to charge me an arm and a leg, and my left walnut. So, yeah. I mean, literally, when it comes to the police accountability side, which I know is where a lot of people have joined me from, I need help with that. I really do. And I'm grateful for a lot of the people that have been doing little shorts and reviews and helping get the word out there. Uh, so I'm currently in between attorneys, ULAX, because she just uh, basically resigned today, and so it's and the next court date is until June 2nd, is when the contested hearing to contest what they did in April. We have to wait all the way till June. How screwed up is that? They get to hold my child in their custody for months, attempting to brainwash her into their beliefs and try to coerce her to say things to basically so they can try to have some valid reason of taking her in the first place. Because they know what because ultimately, especially, because here's what I don't get. You say in your documents that the father would, aka me, is recorded you on both phone and a body cam, and then you still proceed to lie about what was said. Oh wait, the very next hearing, what did they do? Make sure that I can't present by keeping me off of Zoom. But see, here's a lot of where they screwed up, because the cops handcuffed her for over an hour, and then a week later they have my daughter, in their custody and care, not in juvenile, but in government custody and care. It's ultimately fruit of a poisonous tree, especially when they had no right to take her in the first place. No proper probable cause, because these family court judges say, "Oh, I find probable cause," when they have no clue what probable cause is. They don't even follow the rules and the law that they're supposedly enforcing. And that's where I have them for the error of law, which is an appealable thing. The thing is, I just need an appeals attorney to help me do that. And for all those that are hiding in the background, welcome, hello. If you're government actors, oh, come on in, say hello anyways. Because we know you're wanting to find a way to try to trap me and entrap me. First Amendment free speech. I have the right to comment, especially on my own pending litigations. Especially in family court, since y'all don't know, since family court doesn't obey Texas state statutes, Texas laws, the Texas Constitution, or the U.S. Constitution. They twist the words, or they find where their name is, say, yes, that gives me, this spot gives me the authority to do. No, it didn't. Not unless certain things are met. You have to understand the PTSD my wife has, Sunday. My wife loves our daughter dearly. And a lot of times what she says is not exactly what she's meaning. Any woman knows that, especially when you've had fights like this before, and you're trying to at least start to build yourself a wall to protect your emotions, to keep from going insane. And trust me, during the one and only visit we've had so far with our daughter since she was taken, my wife was there in person, and yeah, my wife loves our daughter very much. My wife is very proud of our daughter in regards to that she has apparently learned some things that Yeah. And my daughter does not, and some people have tried to put out there, my daughter does not have any disabilities. She just tends to pretend, she pretends to play uh, ding dong for people. And a lot of it, Sunday, is a show for the agency to say, hey, if you've got proof, do it. I mean, look at the 1A guys who will sit there. Do they really want to get locked up just because they sit there and turn around and give their hand and put their wrist behind their back for the cops? No. It's a matter of playing a mental game with those idiots. If you really have the proof you say you have, or you think you're right, do it. Just do it. The old Nike slogan. But it's also partly building a wall because this is such a long fight. But welcome, Sunday. I don't remember seeing you in my live stream before. So welcome to everybody that's new. So please understand, I'm arguing the concepts. It's not, no personal attacks. Attack the argument, not each other. And we'll all do just fine. But since everybody came late, I'm gonna replay the first two songs I played early at the beginning, towards the beginning of my stream. That are AI generated. These are the same. This is the same lyrics, just two different versions of the AI generated song. This is not my mental emotional state. The gloominess is because of the subject matter. Making the subject matter match the tone.
They knock at midnight, no sound, no fight. Taking the little ones into the night. Whispers of power cloaked in their deeds. Feeding the system on innocent pleas. Dirty hands pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls. They don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. Cloak of darkness shields their crime. Families shattered
Gotcha on that,
in the
Eli.
dead of time. Rules rewritten, hearts torn apart. The lies they tell a master's art. Dirty hands pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls. They don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls, they don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. They scribble verdicts on crumpled dreams, silence the cries that burst at the seams. Who will stand? Who will fight when justice falls into the night?
And the sheep, you might like my other channel, Servant Spirit Ministries. Find the link in the description of this channel. Second verse.
They knock at midnight, no sound, no fight, taking the little ones into the night. Whispers of power, cloaked in their deeds, feeding the system on innocent pleas. Sturdy hands, pulling the strings, truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls, they don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. No cloak of darkness shields their crime. Families shattered in the dead of time. Rules rewritten, hearts torn apart. The lies they tell, a master's art. Dirty hands, pulling the strings. Truth lost in the chaos it brings. Behind the gavel, behind the walls, they don't hear justice, they don't hear our calls. Courtrooms echo with twisted games. Judges blind to the fire and flames. The laws they twist, the lives they break. All for control, all for their sake. They scribble verdicts on crumpled dreams, silence the cries that burst at the seams. Who will stand, who will fight when justice falls into the night?
Okay, so that was for those that arrived late. Catch that song. Hour into the stream here, so I'm glad everybody showed up. Relax if you get some, at least try to get a couple hours of rest. I know how it feels. Get scattered sleep, but yeah, the song, other than in the beginning, the intro there, the songs I was playing were things that I created tonight to shine light into the darkness of the corruption. They exactly what I wanted to come out? No, but I thought they were really good. So, because of that, we'll switch to some of my classics. Some of my other ones I've done before.
God's light shines bright in darkness. Lies and deceit will fail. Truth stands tall and steadfast. All love will still prevail. God's love is unconditional, strong and pure and true. Hatred has no place at all in what we say and do. Through every storm and trial, His beacon guides our way. With faith we walk the mile, as night turns into day. God's love is unconditional, strong and pure and true. Hatred has no place at all in what we say and do. When shadows try to claim us and doubt begins its reign, we'll feel His warm embrace of hope, easing all our pain.
Thank everyone for coming in here.
Unconditional, strong and pure and true.
Also, we found over on Rumble for those that like to.
Hatred has no place at
Well, I believe everybody here has subscribed to me. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like, thumbs down, dislike. If you feel froggy, there's always memberships.
When shadows try to claim us,
For Rumble, I have
and doubt
some
begins
stream
its
over there too.
reign, we'll feel his warm embrace of hope easing all our pain.
Now that just requires you to replace the door you elect. It needs a punching bag.
Unconditional, strong and pure and true. Hatred has no place at all. What we say and do.
So, and away we go. So what else can we talk about? Got an hour in. We got the main stuff out the way. Some songs to show my distaste for the corrupt system here. And besides everyone else having their own heartaches and headaches. Sit back, relax. Is anybody lurking that has my info? Yeah. Some people already have the link if they want to join in. But that's it. They're even awake at this hour. The world is a mighty big place. Oh. Yeah, I needed really good attorneys for both cases. Both the because even though they're kind of one and the same, I have a feeling that it's all the only reason. See, no, I don't have it linked to be able to bring you in from Discord. I was planning on doing that with my main computer, but then it decided to crash. Well, actually, I was planning on working on that now that I have better bandwidth. Thank you, Starlink. And I was going to try to do some ministry streaming this past weekend, but all of a sudden, right at the beginning of the weekend, my primary streaming computer decided to go belly up. It won't power back on. And so I might have to take it into a computer specialist. I took it apart, I cleaned it out, I looked to see if I could see anything might have came loose or looked bloated or anything, like a cat, passed or anything. Like I'd be able to do anything about it, but without digging into it too deep, uh, without the proper tools and clean environment, yeah, all I could do was just clear out some dust and hope, hoped it would work. Yeah, this backup computer I'm using is just doesn't have the capacity. It's basically a glorified Chromebook. It's it's an HP stream that I'm using right this moment, which yeah, I'm trying to use it to live stream and from a browser in it, and I replaced Windows with Linux, but it's fun. Yeah, we'll talk a little tech here, but yes, yeah, we'll talk a little tech here. Yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with in that regards. I do have another alternate uh, Linux computer. It's a little bit more, which is an older laptop that's a little more heavy duty, but uh, yeah, I haven't really tried to stream from it. But yeah, anybody can. Well, and back to the Discord thing. Yeah, I do have a Discord link. There's no, you don't have to be a member to join Discord. I'm not like that. Uh, and the Discord is primarily the ministries, for the ministry, but there's a veterans and a Kickin It subsections. You can always hang out there, chit chat, start a fun conversation. Don't have to wait all the way until a live stream. And let's see. But yeah, I've seen actually. Granted, it's only on certain satellites when they go overhead and things like that. But and I do admit that even though I'm on the Starlink unlimited roaming plan now, I got that part straightened out. Uh, there's a referral link if you don't have Starlink now and you would like to get it, and if you're a new customer, you can get a month. I can get a month free. If after you signed up and been an active customer for at least 30 days. So there's that. But usually on residential and roaming plans, not so much the commercial stuff. So anyways, yeah, I saw speeds on some satellites when they passed overhead. I've seen speeds as low as around 18 megabits down, and as high as close to 400 megabits down with the Starlink standard kit. And then usually between 8 to 35 megabits upload. And I've been seeing between, I think the lowest was about 18 millisecond, up to some pretty, 80s millisecond pings. So of course you can expect the lower speeds and the higher pings are, during the congested times in the area that's considered congested. When it's not congested, the thing has some really good speeds on it. In fact, for stuffs and giggles, we'll just see what it says it's doing right now. Oh. For stuffs and giggles, 269 megabits down. Let's see, still gathering the data. 26 megabits up with a 28 millisecond ping, or whatever you want to call that. But yeah. Way better than the Verizon nonsense I was dealing with. Oh, if you're tired, you took us to bed. You ain't gonna miss much around here. I already covered what happened at family court. Now it's just hanging around the campfire type of situation here. Let's talk, let's hang out, let's chillax a few. Anyone else still here? Come on, say hi. Sheep of the Good Shepherd, I saw you come in, and good night, EMS. Let's see. Throw a song here.
Shadows creeping in the dead of night, whispers spreading with their poison bite. Rumors fly like arrows from the dark, but faith ignites the fire, lights the spark. Prayer warriors rise, lifting hearts to the sky, breaking the strongholds as the demons fly. Angels in armor with a holy flame, victorious in Jehovah's name. The battlefield shakes, but we will stand tall. A mighty fortress stronger than them all. Truth is our sword and love is our shield. Hope is the banner that we boldly wield. Prayer warriors rise, lifting hearts to the sky, breaking the strongholds as the demons fly. Angels in armor with a holy flame, victorious in Jehovah's name. Chains are breaking in the darkest fight, faith will shatter every lie in sight. Skies are blazing with celestial sound, for in His grace the lost are found. Prayer warriors rise, lifting hearts to the sky, breaking the strongholds as the demons fly. Angels in armor.
Anybody else want to say hello? Say
Victorious in Jehovah's name.
oh. No need to lurk. That didn't work that way. Whoops. No need to be lurking and hiding in the background. But it is late for some people, early for others. Anybody else want to come in, ask questions? You got questions? I've got answers. Definitely go do that. Or at least lay down, relax, put on some classical or soothing music or something. Listen to some Tchaikovsky or Beethoven or, Native American music, something. You have a blessed night too, you Lex. So peekaboo, Pikachu. Anybody hiding out there? If not, I'll get ready to shut this stream down. And if you're on the replay crew, enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, look at my links on the About channel and area there. I guess I'll just say shalom, peace unto you, and we'll go ahead and shut her down. Unless anybody else comes in, I'll be watching.
We gathered round the campfire's glow. Stars dance high where the warm winds blow. Sweet tea in a mason jar, thick as a stone. Laughter floats like smoke, we're never alone. Dr. Pepper fizzing light hits the glass. Coffee brewing slow, time here seems to pass. Hot cocoa whispers tales to the night. Stories of the road where everything feels right. Kicking back with friends, no worries in sight. 87 LTN by the radio's light. With amateur radio, we share our land, holding on to moments as embers turn to sand. Eric tunes the dial, finds a friendly voice. Static crackles softly in the quiet, we rejoice. Talking about the little things, living day by day. Simple countryside
where we'd rather stay. Cedar smoke mixes with the midnight dew. There's magic in the air in everything we do. Peggy tells a story about the mountains far, just another chapter neath this familiar star. Kicking back with friends, no worries in sight. 07LTN by the radio's light. With amateur radio, we share our land, holding on to moments as embers turn to sand. We gathered round the campfire's glow. Stars dance high where the warm winds blow. Sweet tea in a mason jar, thick as a stone. Laughter floats like smoke, we're never alone. Dr. Pepper fizzing light hits the glass. Coffee brewing slow, time here seems to pass. Hot cocoa whispers tales to the night, stories of the road where everything feels right. Kicking back with friends, no worries in sight. 87LTN by the radio's light. With amateur radio, we share our land, holding on to moments as embers turn to sand.